Good evening. This is Weekdays with Wendy, and I am reading to you from the Love Your Neighbor, No Exceptions daily flip calendar. Today's passage or reading is a quote by Fred Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Our society is much more interested in information than wonder, in noise rather than silence. And I feel that we need a lot more wonder and a lot more silence in our lives. Do you make time for wonder? Do you make time for silence to be a part of your life? Now, we all aspire to that, but I can honestly say I'm not very intentional about making time for wonder, and especially not silence. I fill up the time. It's hard to be silent. Back in 1997, Fred Rogers was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Daytime Emmys. When he came up on stage, he gave the following speech. I want to read it to you. Oh, it's a beautiful night in this neighborhood. So many people have helped me to come to this night. Some of you are here. Some are far away. Some are even in heaven. All of us have special ones who have loved us into being. Would you just take, along with me, 10 seconds to think of the people who have helped you become who you are? Those who have cared about you and wanted what was best for you in life. 10 seconds of silence. I'll watch the time. Now, after he said this, he pulled out his watch and he looked at his wristwatch. And in that first second, you heard a few people in this huge auditorium, all notable daytime television personalities. You heard a few giggles. And in the next second, the camera started panning the crowd, and you saw people with huge tears in their eyes. Some already had their Kleenexes out, kind of dabbing. In just 10 seconds of this corporate silence, Fred Rogers had allowed people to have that kind of moment that evoked a tender, emotional response. After the 10 seconds were over, he said, "Whomever you have been thinking about, how pleased they must be to know the difference you feel they've made." And then he continued his speech, going on to thank the people in his life who had helped him to achieve that award. And I was inspired by that. I could tell that so many of the people in that audience were genuinely moved to tears. And so I thought that you and I could take 10 seconds to remember those who have helped to love us into being. I'll watch, and I invite you to join me to think of someone in your life who has cared for you, who has helped to support you, who has helped to shape you and mentor you, who has helped you to become who you are. 10 seconds of silence. I'll watch. Whoever you've been thinking of, how pleased they must be to know the difference you feel they've made in your life. Tonight, and each night after, I invite you to take 10 seconds of silence. 10 seconds of silence where you reflect on someone who's made an incredible difference in your life. Or perhaps 10 seconds of silence where you go out and you intentionally look up into the sky for the wonder of the heavens. You listen for the sounds of the night. Be intentional about experiencing wonder and silence. Have a great night.